Okay, YouTube, another video about the Epson. This is an EcoTank ET2800. My problem is it will not print. Even after nozzle checks, head cleanings, power cleanings, nothing. I suspect that the print heads have dried and are clogged. So I'm gonna be walking you through the process of getting to the print heads and cleaning the print heads. What I'm gonna do is try to do it without a cleaning kit. To give you some background information, I'll just run through what we do with this printer. We use this printer with pigment ink to make decals and stickers. We don't print that often, and we usually have to perform, a nozzle check every time we turn on the printer and a print head cleaning. And that has worked for us. We print every couple weeks usually. In winter, when it's cold in the house, we have to do that more often. So recently we printed a lot. We printed about 20 sheets, and what I think happened is since we printed more than usual, we had more ink on the print heads that was able to dry and sort of fully sealed off the print head to where I'm getting nothing now. Cleanings don't work, power cleaning doesn't work, nothing. So we're gonna hopefully get to the print heads and clean it. I'm not gonna buy a kit. I'm gonna use some isopropyl alcohol. I have a syringe, and I'm gonna try to MacGyver some things and see if I can get this going. So first step, you need to turn the printer on. And what you need to do is unlock or free up the print head. So when it's resting, the print head goes back into position and gets locked in. So what you need to do is you need to send off a nozzle check, which is going to start the printing process. And so it's going to unhook the print head, and then you're going to cut the power. So then the print head is able to move freely. You can do it. You can move the print head with your hand back and forth. So that's what we're gonna do. So you just go, you turn it on, you use your arrows, and you go to maintenance, and then you go to nozzle check. You load your paper, load the paper, and then, okay, new firmware, no thank you. Okay, and then I'm gonna hit print. Once it starts printing, and you hear it moving, you're gonna cut the power. So you can either unplug the cable from the back, or you can unplug it from the wall. I'm gonna unplug it from the wall because it's faster. All right, so here you go. So it's printing, and then whatever, go through that, yes. Okay, when it's printing, there you go. I'm going to cut the power. Okay, pulled it out. So now we're going to take it over to the bench. Okay, I've got it on the bench. And what I've done is I've put an old towel down just in case. You shouldn't really make a mess, but just in case, put a towel down. You're looking at the printer. What you need to do is you got to lift this up. You're used to moving this, so easy. Just lift that up, okay? Now you're looking inside, and you see this notch right here. You're gonna stick your finger in this and just pull this down. And, this just clicks in and out. It's this little, dome. White dome is on a spring. That's what holds this plate up and down. You just grab it with your finger. Okay, pull it down. Now you can see inside, okay? You've got your tubes for your ink. You've got your 4 tubes. And here, what I'm touching is the print head. So what we did is we unlocked it. So now I can slide it back and forth with my hand. So that's what we want, okay? Check. Now that you've opened that flap down, now focus on this corner right here. You can grab this right here with your hand. And you're gonna lift up. And you hear that click. And there's another click. I'll move the light and I'll do it again. Okay, here it is again. It's super easy. I've undone the flap here. Focus on this corner. Just grab this whole white top and you're just gonna open it. Now listen. First click, then when you set it down, second click. That's this little leg hinge. Lift it up, and so that's gonna hold this top up for you, okay? Now, just while we're here, you can undo this. So you grab the whole thing again, lift up, it'll click, and it'll allow you to go back down. And so if you still see black here, it's not totally down, so you kind of just jimmy it, and it goes down, okay? Then you're back where you started. So here it is again. That's just that prop. Okay. We're gonna actually disconnect this prop next. That's the next step. We're actually gonna remove this so we can have further access to the printhead. Here's another shot of the printhead now. Here, I can move it back and forth. Whoopee. All right, next step, hold on. Okay, so I'm looking from around the corner, right? And the easiest way I found to do this is take your middle finger and you can see, find this little square. You can see the tip of my screwdriver's in it. Right there. So put your middle finger there. And you're gonna pretty much close it on your finger and push in towards the printer. And it'll slip that knee hinge out of its like path. So now that's open. Okay, so you've got this hinge disconnected and the whole top is now free to move. Okay, so you've got more access now. So what you don't want to do is open this up all the way because you got these ribbon cables. These have little tiny wires in them. So you don't want to open this all the way and rip those. So you just want to open it enough, and before you do this, find something, get a screwdriver is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to hold this with my hand, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick it in the corner. I'll show you then, where this hinge was. And I'm going to use it as a prop. So I've got the handle in the corner, and I've got it going into this slot up here. So now we have a prop, and we're propped up, we've got access to everything, and we're ready to go. So hold on. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove the piece of paper that is now inside the printer when we were doing the nozzle check. So I'm gonna come around the back, I'm gonna open this little flap so I can get my fingers, and grab the piece of paper, and I'm gonna pull it out. Okay, next step. We're gonna take this cover off, this white cover. There's a little tab right here. You need to pull that up. And there's a little clip right here, which you can get your finger in, and you need to push towards the back of the printer. That little clip and this little tab. And this cover is now off. Okay, now you're looking at it with the cover off. So going down the line, you have cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. Okay, so we're back. So we got the cover off. So I put gloves on. This is the time to put gloves on if you don't want ink on your hands. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put paper towel underneath the printhead carriage itself. So like here's me moving it with my hands. I'm gonna put the paper towel to where I can move it and it's gonna be over the paper towel. So what I did was I took one piece of paper towel. This is like a pretty nice one, not like a cheap kind, but it probably doesn't matter. So I folded it hot dog style twice. So I folded it long ways and then folded it long ways again. And so what I did on the end was I took some Scotch tape and I taped the end. But this is gonna allow me to slip it under the printhead more easily. And it's not gonna bunch up when I do it. So I've got this in here like this. And I'm gonna push it down my fingers. And if it's really set up nicely, you can almost run it under, but you're gonna need both hands. Your left hand's gonna go over. So there, it actually worked really well. So tape the end and now pull it through. So now you have a base under your print head. So now, these individual things are like little staging areas before it gets injected into the print head. So all of these like little, I'm just gonna call them cartridges. So each of these cartridges holds one color and they each get serviced by a tube, and that connects to your ink tank. So each one of these cartridges is held in by this clip right here. You can see it. They each have a clip in the back. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna pinch the clip and they just pop up. And so when you're pulling these out, I'm gonna start from the right, but be mindful that this tubing, you can see it, they're being held in by these little like looms, these little notches. So you don't wanna cut your, poke holes in your tubes or anything. So I'm gonna slip that out of that notch. And this is already pinched, so I'm just gonna pull up on this cartridge. Okay, so each one of those is the color, and that feeds the print head. So this is what we're gonna try to clean. So I'll be back in a second. So my goal here is to not have to buy a cleaning kit because I'm a lazy and cheap person, okay? So you can get a cleaning kit that comes with cleaning solution, a syringe, and a tube. And you can use that kit to easily flush out these print heads. Now, I'm stupid and lazy, and I don't want to do that. So I'm going to try to use things that I have here at my house. Before you do this, just so you know, they have a cleaning kit. So look that up if you don't think you have anything that you can jerry-rig to do this job. Okay, so here are some steps that you can do just to make your life easier. So these hoses are covered here with this piece of plastic shroud. And this shroud is held in by these little tabs. And then it's tucked in right here to this black rim. So if you take a flathead, you get it under here, just pull that, just overcome this little black rim. Okay, now you can grab it and pull it to the right, and you can overcome these clips. You get them out of their slots. Okay. So now you have that shroud off. These hoses are glued together, kind of like headphone wires, where you can peel them apart from each other. So don't mind this. I peeled this one back. Show you with the yellow one. There's a nipple down there that you want to get a tube over. It's pretty small, and so that cleaning kit would come with the proper size tube to tightly fit over that nipple, and then you're gonna flush it out down through the print head with the syringe. So I don't have that, so I'm gonna show you what I have. I do have this syringe. This is like an irrigation syringe. It's got a curved tip on it. Now I also have this piece of vacuum tubing. This is from a car. This is 5/32, which is a little too big. So what I did was I took a zip tie and I zip tied it tightly on the end so that I can hug that printhead nipple more. So this is the first thing I'm gonna try, is this 5/32 vacuum tubing. Assuming this works, I just wanna say that you can get this at a parts store. You can buy vacuum tubing by probably the foot. So just get a foot. This is 5/32 and I needed this zip tie at the end. So maybe you can try one size down. I don't know off the top of my head what the next size down is, if there even is a smaller size. But I'm assuming this is working right now. So this is 5/32 vacuum hose with the zip tie at the end. Also at Lowe's, they sell vinyl tubing, clear vinyl tubing. And if they should, a size this small, get a foot of clear vinyl tubing. Now, I'm recommending you do this for the people that don't want to buy the kit online. You can just get a syringe, use the alcohol, and get a piece of tubing. So then you don't have to go online, shop, find one you like, and wait for the shipping. You can bang this out today. So you can get tubing. So get it from somewhere, either this vacuum tubing or get clear vinyl tubing. Again, just get the kit. Don't be stupid like me. And what I'm going to use is isopropyl alcohol. I didn't do any research on this, so if this is dumb, then I'm sorry, but that's what I'm going to try. I'm going to flush it with alcohol. I'm not claiming that this is going to work or that I'm a professional or whatever. I'm just taking a shot glass, and I'm going to pour some alcohol in it, and then I'm going to go over to the syringe and get set up. Okay, so I've taken my syringe and I've sucked up some alcohol. There's no measurements on this, so I'm going to go little by little. And so the thing with the zip tie is it has that, its locking mechanism is like, you know, where it ratchets the zip tie is a big like square head. So you gotta fit the head in there so you can push the tube all the way down, you know, and have it clear that zip tie. So that's what I've got. So I've got the open end up here, and I'm gonna stick my syringe in it. Okay, got my tubing, tried to push it all the way down flat to the bottom. All right, so got my syringe, my alcohol, and I'm gonna stick it in to get a good seal, and here goes nothing. So I put some in, I don't know, I'm just gonna look at the paper towel. As you can see, it went through, so hopefully I'm not ruining the printer. So I'm gonna keep going and see what happens, so stay tuned. I'm gonna change that paper towel out again, but I'm gonna use it again for the yellow. I'm onto the yellow now, so I'm gonna stick it on the yellow nipple as far as I can. And maybe I won't be, I'm just gonna do a little bit, sort of hold the tubing. I'm gonna try that much. So I'm gonna take it off. It wasn't much. So have your paper towels handy to put all your stuff on. And get a little piece, paper towel and a screwdriver, and clean that out. Now I'm gonna slide the carriage over. Kinda gotta hold the paper towel. Slide that over, and you can see we got some yellow. So what I'm gonna do at this point, I'm gonna change the paper towel, and I'm gonna do a little bit more through the yellow. Okay, what I've done to make my life easier is I've taken all these cartridges out. I'm gonna wipe the ends. I'm just gonna take them out, clean the ends. I'm just gonna wrap them in a piece of paper towel, stick them off to the side. They're off over the side in a paper towel all together, and so I'm just working on this carriage. I'm just gonna call it a carriage. So I did the yellow, I'm gonna do some more yellow, and then I'm gonna go down the line. And so what I did switch the paper towel out. It is a pain to get under that carriage, so I taped the end again so it would slip under. So be back. Okay, what I'm doing now is I'm holding the paper towel with one hand, my right hand, and I'm just moving this shuttle carriage back and forth. Sorry if it's shaking, and you can see that some of the alcohol is finding its way down, so I'm just doing that for fun. So now I'm on to the magenta. I'm sorry, no, I'm gonna do more yellow. Stick it on there tightly and hold it down. I'm gonna do about that much. It's not much. Can see then I got some more yellow on the paper towel. I'm gonna move on to the magenta. That seems pretty good to me. Now I'm on to the red. Get it down there and I'll show you how much I do. It's not much. Like there's me moving it. I'm gonna go about that much. And I'm gonna check. See, I got some red there. All right, so I'm gonna do the blue. So holding it down really helps. You really gotta hold it, press it down, it gives you better seal. And you can see I got some blue there. I'm gonna change the paper towel and just run them through one more time, all four, and maybe I'll get running a little more clear on the paper towel. And then I'm gonna reassemble and just try it, see what happens, and try and print it. I'll just show you. I changed the paper towel out, and all you need is like one piece of Scotch tape. You fold it twice long ways, and just take one piece of Scotch tape, and then just, put it on the end and fold it over. That's all you need, is just so it can slip under. What I also did, okay, so I cleaned them all, and now you can see they're all black. The nipples are just black. So now they're clean, and you can see it looks a lot better. I'm gonna flush them again. Okay, I ran alcohol through them again. This is the second time, so you can see I did the black first and then moved it. So you get the black, this was the black, then the yellow, and then the magenta, and then the cyan. So I still got a pretty, good amount out. So I hope I'm not being dumb, but I'm gonna do it a third time. Okay, this is after the third cleaning. So black was pretty clear, yellow was pretty clear, red was pretty clear, and I got a little bit more blue out. Blue always seems to give us more trouble. Again, this is pigment ink, and blue always seems to be, it's always the color that will stop printing first and is usually fixed by like the regular head cleaning. So I got a little bit more blue out on the third one, and I'm gonna run a little bit more through the blue, and then I'm done with the actual alcohol. What I'm gonna do now is take fresh paper towel, and I'm gonna clean out this whole carriage and suck up as much alcohol, excess alcohol as I can, and dry this whole entire carriage. I try not to like rub it around too much to not, to avoid getting fibers in here from the paper towel, but this alcohol will dry naturally, but I'm just gonna try to sop up as much as I can. Blow in there. So I'm gonna let that dry a little bit. I'm going to take this paper towel out. So I'm going to get any excess while it's still wet. Looks pretty good. The paper towel does a pretty good job. If you have good paper towels, it does a pretty good job of catching all the ink and stuff that you run through it. So I'm just kind of tidy up things while I'm in here, like, I don't know, just kind of wipe these rollers, and now's a good time to look at everything else while you're in here. You can look at the belt and, whatever else. So I'm going to let this dry. I'm going to let this carriage dry out before I bring the tubes back in, put the cartridges back in. Okay, I've let it dry a good bit, and I don't feel like letting it sit for 12 hours or whatever. I'm going to go ahead and put it back together. Quickly just do that on camera. I'm going to take my cartridges. I'll come down, this comes around here, and I'm going to go ahead while these are loose, I'm going to insert them into the printheads. I'm going to put the tubing in their looms. Just using my fingers, just being careful. All right, I've got those situated in their little race tracks there. Zoom in. I'm gonna do the reverse of what I showed you earlier. So these notches, you'll see exactly where they go. You need to slip them on. Hook it on there, hook it on this one. Yeah, it's a little bit of a pain, but you'll get it. Kind of need to do them all at once. So you get them on their hooks, and then I just take this flathead, sorry if you can't see, and you just retuck it into the rim of this racetrack. That's how they had it. So it goes on like that, so you're all covered. Now you're all set, so everything moves freely. And the last step, put this cover back on. So there's this pinch clip here in the front. There's this little tab, and then there's these two little tabs in the back that are going to go in here. And you got to put those in first. It's like a TV remote. You got to slip these tabs in first, and then push down. I'm going to put it back together and see what happens. So wish me luck. Okay, now the last thing you need to do is, so here's your little hood prop, whatever you use. So you got to lift up the hood, take out your hood prop. So now you got to hold this down, this hinge down. So you push it while you close it and push it all the way in. And it's on a spring. So you just heard it click. It will do itself. It will hook itself back into its mechanism. So that's super easy. And the hood's back down, so I'm going to plug it in and try it. So wish me luck. Okay, so I plugged it back in, and you can see I've got the hood propped open on that elbow. It just relocked the printhead and it's doing its thing. So let it do its thing. What it did was I plugged it in, it slowly crawled its way over and then it crawled its way back. And then you just saw it did some stuff and locked itself in. So don't forget this front flap. So we're gonna put the hood down and then we're gonna close this flap and push it. It just locks in. So now I'm back home. Firmware, no. Printhead require maintenance, so that's what I'm getting. Perform a printhead nozzle check before printing. That's what I got right away. Hopefully that's good. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do exactly what it says. I'm gonna perform a printhead nozzle check before printing. All right, I've got a piece of paper. I'm putting it in the back and I'm gonna do a nozzle check. These are just my settings. Hit OK, confirm. Maintenance, nozzle check. Mismatch, yeah, yada, yada, yada. Print. Okay, so I got nothing. I got a little blue and a little red. I'm gonna go ahead and clean it. It's cleaning. I'll be back when it's done. Okay, it's done cleaning. Okay, this is just whatever. Hit OK. Mismatch. I'm getting nothing. So I'm gonna do it again. Be back. Okay, this is after 2 cleanings. I've got yellow, I've got magenta, and I have almost all of the cyan, but I do not have any black. What I'm trying to do here is avoid a power cleaning because I don't want to waste ink. But I'm gonna try to clean it again. And if I can't get it with regular cleanings, I will do the power cleaning and I will let you know if that's what I have to do. So be right back. Okay, this is after 3 regular cleanings. So I've got full yellow, I've got full magenta, and 90% of the cyan. I also have about 90% of the black. And I'm printing. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna print. I'm not gonna clean anymore because that runs up the waste tank counter. But I'm just gonna print some things and try to get more black up and just print normally. So that was 3 cleanings. What I'm doing is printing my own test sheet. That looks pretty good to me. I'm gonna print some stickers, and if they turn out fine, I will tell you. But I'm gonna call this a success. I'm gonna also do some final thoughts. So I'll be right back. All right, final thoughts. This was much easier than I thought. I've worked on other printers, and this was easier. I did print a sheet of stickers, and they look totally fine. So I'm calling this a success. I did 3 flushes with alcohol, and then I did 3 regular printhead cleanings. Try to avoid printhead cleanings and power cleanings because they will run up your waste counter and then you'll have to buy a key online to reset the counter. I did 3 regular cleanings and then I made my own test print page to make it print more, to just get everything flowing. So I'm calling this a success. If you have any questions, let me know. I can try to answer them. You can do the job. It's really not hard, and it's part of the regular maintenance for your printer, just like anything else. So don't throw out the printer and don't donate it to Goodwill because you don't want to do this. Just do it. Bye.